I swear to God, Kevin, if the Saints lose to this midget Bryce Young, who only threw for 100 yards last week, I am going to up my drinking, and that would be extremely unhealthy. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour Podcast. We always have a source.
Dave remains quiet because he continues to search for that he can't find.
What did Nola Fredo say?
Yeah, try to get saved by Nola Fredo. That's a great strategy.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour Podcast. As always, we are brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey and Chilton County Peach Whiskey. I'm Rob Marlboro. I'm joined by Kevin. I'm joined by Dave. Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. It's that time of week where we do a Saints preview / mailbag episode. If you're watching us on YouTube, leave us a comment. It helps, and it doesn't cost you anything. We appreciate it. All right, Kevin, the Saints are a 4.5-point favorite over the Carolina Panthers. And we touched a little bit on it in the big show, but
No. Favorite? No.
Carolina's a minus 4.5. What did I say?
Yeah, the Panthers are 4.5 favorite.
Panthers are 4.5 points favorite.
Yes.
I feel like, Kevin,
Okay.
the Panthers, Bryce Young, because they are winning and they are 5-4, he is sliding under the radar as a very, very disappointing / potentially bad first overall pick. I mean, he is vomiting out some terrible stat lines. And I mean, if the Saints ever won a football game where Tyler Shuck threw for 100 yards, I mean, we'd be happy, but I think Saints Twitter would have a conniption fit and start calling for Spencer Rattler to be the starter. But I'm going to read off his last 3 games. He threw for 102, 138, 199, 198, 150, 121, 328 yards, 154. That sounds a lot like Spencer Rattler, Kevin, who just got benched.
What do you want me to tell you? There's nothing I can tell you here. The Saints. I just totally lost my train of thought. Sorry. Bryce Young is not. He's not that good, but he's just on a team that plays well enough, and he does well enough that he can get wins. I mean, I imagine it would be the same thing if you put Rattler on a pretty decent team. You'd probably get similar results.
I mean, are the Panthers 1 year ahead of what the Saints are?
Oh, I think the Panthers, unfortunately, Dave, might be 2 years ahead. And here's the thing.
All right.
I don't hate the Panthers. Like, the Panthers are like almost, even though they're in the division with the Saints, and the Saints have played them in a playoff game and won, and they were really fun to hate on when Cam Newton was there because he was just a great villain. I have no normally ill will towards the Panthers, but the Panthers, Dave, this year really, really, really annoy me. And I'm going to tell you why. The Panthers needed another running back this year. And they had Chuba Hubbard, and they were like, you know what? We need like a 2-headed monster.
Chuba Hubbard. Is that a candy bar? I think.
And it would
is that one of Mars's? Is that one of Mars's latest products?
It's got nougat. It's got
Dave wants to eat it.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It does. But the Carolina Panthers this year really annoy me, Dave, because they needed a running back. They signed Rico Dowdle. For 1 year, $2.75 million. He's got 735 yards after 8 games. He's averaging 5.6 yards a carry. I don't know if he would do that with the Saints. I probably think he wouldn't. But I can
No, I
tell
don't
you,
think so.
if the Saints had signed him for 1 year, $3 million, he'd be the best goddamn running back on the Saints. And
He
that
should have just.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he should have Rico'd out. He should have done the three. He should have done the third. He should have done the third pump. The third thrust.
That was I mean, that was amazing.
If he's gonna get fined anyway, you might as well go full bore. You might as well keep pelvic thrusting. And from the numbers that you just spat off, it sounds like he's got good reason to be celebrating in the end zone as much as he wants to. No, you can't compare that to the Saints because no, he wouldn't have that. Like that's part of the problem is like we might have talent on this team that we don't even realize because we're not utilizing them. You know, same thing as like something like I'm just going to throw out a random name, but like Rob Ninkovich, you know, somebody that like is on the team, goes somewhere else, or more recently Anzel, whatever, you know, is on the team, goes somewhere else, and is plays more of a role and is more impactful for a new
Zach
team.
Bond.
And that team is good. Not like it's not like they're a crappy team and being a good player on a crappy team. They're going and being a good player on good teams. So I don't know.
Kevin, it's really annoying to me that like the Saints in the last 2 years, like they haven't hit any.
I'm going to look in my kids' Halloween candy bag to get some more candy. And by the way, as I mentioned that my daughter went uptown to go trick or treating, but my son stayed in Old Metairie. And be careful, some sicko. I'm shit you not. Some sicko gave my son 2 tickets to the Saints game. For Halloween. So just be careful out there. Check your kids' candy before they eat it. Check the bags. All right.
2 club seats, no
Thunder.
drink tickets.
That's
good, Dave. That might be that might be one of the funniest things Dave has said all year.
I want to say, I took my son trick-or-treating, Kevin, at his buddy's house. His buddy lives across the main street, Broadway, in the fancy neighborhood. My son was getting full candy bars.
God.
It was incredible. Like the rich people in Pearland, they know how to give out the good stuff. But anyway, the thing is, it's frustrating with Carolina. Like, Kevin, the Saints, they haven't hit on like a bargain bin free agent in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't signed somebody for like, oh, they signed this guy for like 1 year, like $3 million, and he's kicking ass. This is awesome. Like, it's very frustrating that like Carolina was a complete and utter joke of a franchise with Frank Reich. They fired him in the middle of the year, right? They hired Dave Canales. Last year, the Saints kicked Carolina's teeth in to start the year. Carolina was a disaster for half the year. And now I feel like it's basically, you know, the demarcation point is right. Last year, right? The Saints were 2-6. They fired DA. They were 2-7. And you've had basically a whole year since then. And I feel like Carolina is leaps and fucking bounds better than the Saints.
Well, here's what's crazy. I'm looking at some of these numbers here. The Saints actually have a better passing game this year than the Panthers do, which tells me, and it's barely like yards, total yards this year. Both teams have played 9 games. The Panthers have thrown for 1,538 yards. The Saints have thrown for 1,778 yards. Now, well, here's where the differences come in, and here's where the Rattler dink and dunk stuff starts to show. The Saints have thrown for 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Now, 1 of those are from Shuck. The Panthers have thrown for 12 touchdowns and 7 picks. Then you go to yards per attempt. The Panthers have thrown 6.0 yards per attempt. The Saints, 6.1. yards per
That's
attempt.
gross.
So just slightly better than the Panthers overall in the passing game, but the Panthers are just insane running the ball. They've got
Yeah, I
they're
feel like
averaging almost 140 rushing yards per game. The Saints at nearly at 90 per game, and they've
that much. The Saints average 90 a game. That feels excessive.
Yeah, 90 per
Feels like
game.
a lot.
3.8 yards per attempt.
Dave, I feel like we bring this up every week, but I like it as a topic. Carolina, like I mentioned earlier, I hate Carolina this year because they've done smart things and the Saints haven't, and that's annoying that they've really passed the Saints up and are leaps and bounds better than the Saints as far as like getting close to the playoffs. Like that's annoying.
Yeah, but they've got like a year. But that's what I was saying earlier. Like they've got like at least 1 year. Like they drafted their quarterback last year. So I mean or no, two years ago. Did they wait? Actually, wait. I'm sorry. Did they? Oh, so they're kind of 2 years ahead of, like you said, they're 2 years into the process. Is he ass? I don't know. If he's ass and they're 5-4, then
Well, then that must mean the rest of the team.
Then our quarterback isn't the problem because then our quarterback isn't the problem because I mean he can't be that much better than.
I mean, the thing is with Carolina, full credit, 5-4. 5-4 is 5-4.
Yeah.
But I mean, they pulled one out their keister versus the Dolphins, and they pulled one out of their keister versus the Cowboys. Although the Cowboys are kind of, I mean, you look at Carolina. I mean, their scores. I mean, they beat Atlanta. They stomped Atlanta out, and they got stomped out by Jacksonville. But the rest of their games are one-score games, and it doesn't. Well, in the Buffalo.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care. They won. If they're either on the right side of the scores or on the wrong side, and they've been on the right side more than they've been on the wrong. So I don't really give a shit. This isn't college football where quality of wins may or may not come into play as far as rankings are concerned. Like a win is a win, and a loss is a loss.
Kevin, I ask this every week, and I like this question. Last week we talked about shenanigans that needed to happen against the Rams, and the shenanigans did not happen in this.
Saints got their shenanigans need to happen in every game for the Saints moving forward. That is the only path to victory.
What needs
for the
to
Saints
happen for the
in
Saints
any
to
game?
beat Carolina? If I told you can have one thing happen, and it can't be the Saints score more points, and it can't be Carolina has a buttload of turnovers. What's one thing that needs to happen for the Saints to have a chance on Sunday?
Let's see. I'm going to say that what was I looking at there? I'm going to say that the Panthers finish with under 90 yards rushing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I tell you what, I'll make it a little more interesting. Under 88.5.
Ooh, man, that would be incredible work by the Saints because Carolina is mauling teams on the ground.
So let me see. I want to be able to find see if I can find that. Oh,
I don't know. It's three interceptions. Is that fair?
You can't say excessive turnovers.
No. Yeah.
Dave, my thing.
I don't know. Tyler Shuck, 300 yards.
I like Kevin. Oh my God, you're a psychopath.
Get me, tease me, tease me.
I'll say this: if the Saints can just make Bryce Young throw the ball 30 times,
ooh, I like that.
They have a shot because he's only done it twice this year, and both of the times those were when they got their head. Or no, I take it back. Every time he's thrown 30 times, they got their head kicked in. Jacksonville, he threw 35 times. They got their head kicked in. Arizona, he threw 55 times. The score was close, but they were getting their head kicked in until Kyler Murray started fucking around. New England, he threw 30 times. They got their head kicked in. Miami, he threw 30 times. They won, but it took a freaking miracle and a Miami collapse for him to win. Just make Bryce Young win the game. Like if Bryce Young goes out and throws for 35 times and cooks you and your bad secondary and your bad pass rush, whatever, fine. He can have his moment. People can talk about him next week. But make Bryce Young win the goddamn game. That's my thing, Dave.
I think that's very fair. I think that's a great one. Because more likely than not, he can't do that. He doesn't have that talent. He's not that. He's not that quarterback. He's not that great.
Yeah. Final thing before we get to the mailbag is this: if the Saints get their head kicked in by Carolina, I know we say that they're bad and all of this, and we know it. But and Dave, you go first, but Kevin, I want you to answer too.
All right.
Will there be a sense of, oh my God, Carolina has been kind of known as their owner's terrible and they're kind of a joke of a franchise, and they just kicked our teeth in and we've fallen behind them? And will
Stop
it
me
give
if you've
you a
heard this
sense of
before.
despair? Because it will give me a sense of despair.
Will it give me a sense of despair to lose to the Panthers?
If the Saints, if they're embarrassed
To get their teeth kicked in?
Yeah.
So if it's more like Andrew's score of 31-13 and it's not even close, no, because again, most of us are already looking at this like they're gonna lose. So why, like, it would have to be. What was that? Baltimore, was it Baltimore, Miami last year? Where Baltimore put up 70 points.
That was Denver 2 years ago.
Denver, sorry. But that kind of a game would have to be that kind of an ass whooping to surprise me.
Not surprise you, but if they lose 30-10 and they looked inept like they do against the Rams, would it make you sad because Carolina was?
I'm already going to be sad.
And the Saints have fallen behind them.
I'm already just going to be despondent about the team anyway. Like it's you're asking me to grade what level of sad am I going to be?
Well, look, I think the cards are already on the table as far as like where the difference between the Saints and the Panthers and where these teams are heading. Like it's the Panthers are on the rise and the Saints are, still potentially falling and yet to pick themselves up to start rising. And like, the Panthers just came off and beat Green Bay in Green Bay. Like the Panthers are a possibly emerging team that's finally getting their shit together. So no, I'm not going to be upset if they not only beat the Saints, but beat the crap out of them, because like I've said multiple times now on this podcast or the Big Show, like the Panthers are technically 2 years into what the Saints are trying to do. The Panthers are basically like the model. That's what we should be looking at. Like, this is what the Saints need to do. You need to get a quarterback. You need to build this. You need to do that. You need to be patient. They had to be patient with Bryce because he wasn't always great. Like there were times where he looked like complete garbage. Good. Well, but he's at least shown, I don't know, gotten a little bit better. But anyway, no, I'm not. Looks like we're having some camera difficulty. There we go.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're
good. But no, and to Kevin's point, like I am expecting us to lose every single game here on out, like including Falcons games. And so, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't really give a crap whether they lose big or whether they lose closely. Honestly, the only thing I give a crap about is how Tyler Shook looks and how the offense looks and how the defense looks and how particular things look and whether we're progressing and whether we're growing and whether we're showing signs of something we can build on for the next season. That's what I'm looking.
Dave, I want another.
And that might come in like the team might look good. You might be able to find signs of positive movement forward, in a butt whooping or in a loss. And the Saints might win, but they might look like kind of garbage and be like, I still don't really know if I like this team, even though they eked out a win. Like, it's not about necessarily the score at this point or the wins or the losses.
Hey, Dave, I have an interesting question that I was thinking about, and we didn't get to it on the big show because the big show went off the rails because I potentially have Alzheimer's, and you were enraging Andrew so much that he nearly walked off.
First of all, Andrew came in hot. Andrew came in hot with his Tulane
did come in
slander.
hot.
Okay,
that is.
And look, I want to go on record. I wasn't sing over him. I thought I was being quiet in the background. I didn't realize how good of a microphone the Marantz actually was, and also how loud.
You should know better. The Marantz is the gold standard.
Well, I know.
You should know better.
I know. So I wasn't actually trying to sing over Andrew, so I do apologize for that. But no, Andrew came in hot off the bat with his Tulane slander and demanding answers from me, of which I still have not given answers.
It's project. To be honest, though, it's projection because he's really disappointed in LSU.
I know. Yeah,
he cares
we
way
lost
more
one
about
game,
LSU,
but we've still got.
He's not even an alumni.
Yeah,
he cares way more about it than me.
It's like that old famous meme. I wear a Tulane sweatshirt because I went to Tulane. You wear an LSU sweatshirt because you shop at Walmart.
But no, Dave, I wanted to ask you this. When did you start being a Saints fan?
Like 2001, like 2000.
Okay,
2000,
so
2001.
you have not seen the Saints have an extensive period.
No. I mean, I started during the Aaron. No, I started during the Aaron Brooks season, so it was never really that bad. Other than obviously Katrina's season, and I even went to all of the home games in Tiger Stadium, but that was a one season. That wasn't extensive as your.
So I haven't
had to endure years. How am I dealing with it? I mean, I can't say it's fun. And as a season ticket holder, the one thing I have to think about is like, do I really want to pay? The price I'm paying to have decent season tickets for a product that's that I'm really not excited to go seeing. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Like, early in the season, it seemed like the Saints started the season with like 4 or 5 straight home games, and I know it wasn't literally that, but it was pretty close to it, with maybe one away game in there. And honestly, it would be like Tuesday or Wednesday, and my wife would say, "What are you doing on Sunday?" Or she would say, "Is the Saints game home or away?" And I'd be like, it's home. We got to, Dylan, like, we got to go to another game. Like, I've got to admit, like, it's not something I'm like really, excited about doing. And we do it on the cheap too. And we don't even make like doesn't kill our whole day. Like, we'll drive down there, park fairly close, walk, don't pay for parking. We'll walk, get one drink and some food, and it's not really that expensive of a day for us, and then walk right on out of there and get home. Yeah, we don't tailgate. It's not like it's eating up our whole day or anything like that. But even still, it's just like. But anyway, I don't know. So but how am I dealing with it? This is, again, I'm hoping that this is just 1 year, and next year we'll maybe see 5 or 6 wins, maybe.
Kevin, before we get to the mailbag questions, I have this question to you. We didn't really dive into it that much on the podcast, but the Saints have Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, and Alvin Kamara. And fans are getting very frustrated with the performance of 2 of the 3. would it be helpful and would we feel better about these old veterans if this week or next week or the bye week they all announced, hey, this is it. After this year I'm retiring. Would we suddenly feel better about watching them every Sunday than we do now?
I think for Cam Jordan, definitely. I guess DeMario too. I don't know why. Like, I just have more of an affinity for Cam Jordan. Maybe it's just because he just has this like, he just has like an avuncular quality to him, and it'll translate to his. He'll obviously go on and be on TV, and it'll translate to that. But yeah, I think if him and DeMario said they were done after this year, it would make the rest of the season a lot more. It would inject more fun, and I get it would almost be a bit of a dead cat bounce in a way because the team would still be terrible. But you'd at least be looking at them, and you'd be rooting for. You could find something individually to really look at and root for.
Yeah, Dave. I just think if Cam Jordan and Kamara said, "Hey, we're retiring," we'd be like, "Oh, okay," and then the bad plays and the struggles we wouldn't care as much.
I mean, ideally, I would like to, if those guys said, "Hey, we're retiring," ideally, I would like to think maybe the team would say, "You know what? Let's go win a couple for these guys," and then maybe the team would actually start playing better. I thought that's what we were going with.
Oh, you thought that's what I was going? No.
Yeah,
I don't think the Saints are capable of playing any better. All right, Thomas. Let's get to.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say, Chex Mix came out with a new Chextra delicious recipe, and I'm a huge fan. The new Chex Mix is way better.
What is the flavor?
It's just the same flavor. They like blasted more of that powdered seasoning flavor onto it, so I think it's way better. It's way saltier and.
Ooh, I like that.
fan.
I like the pub mix at Costco. It's a quality product.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
So, Thomas, what's first up? Mailbag.
All right, first question from Saints Rabbit. He asks, the usual suspect. Would more Taysom change these outcomes, or would you believe that Taysom is being misused? Or would you think Taysom is medically limited and needs to be let loose, meaning cut?
I don't think he's medically limited.
I thought he's like Kevin. I thought that run. I thought he looked good. Like,
right.
I was like, oh, that looks like Taysom playing the hits.
Right, and then the Rams just clamped down, and he didn't do jack the rest of the way. I would listen. He may not. I don't know how much he has on the arm, but I would like to see him drop back and take a couple of passes. So at the very least, like, teams start respecting the possibility that just because he lines up behind center doesn't mean he's just going to automatically run. I know that it might have been predictable in the past, but can we at least try to convince teams he might be throwing the ball?
You gotta run some on Taysom Power on 3rd and 4th and 2 or whatever it is. You gotta run something with a misdirection where like Shaheed comes across and maybe you hand it to Shaheed, or you gotta do a pass. You gotta cook somebody on 3rd down because they know, Kevin, like you said, these teams know Taysom's in the game. It's 4th and 2. It's 4th and 3. It's 3rd and 2. We're selling out to stuff Taysom. You got to run a pass play down the field. And look, we know Taysom struggles throwing the ball. If he didn't struggle throwing the ball, he would have been the quarterback after Drew Brees. You got to roll the dice doing that, and you got to cook one of these teams. And Kevin, all you got to do is do it once, and teams will be like, oh, God damn. the Carolina, they sold out on 4th and 2 to stop Taysom, and Juwan did a walk-in touchdown. We can't have that. So you got it. Like, to me, you got it. You're exactly right. You got to mix in like the thing that makes Taysom, to me, the thing that made Taysom Power special was it was the Wildcat in its peak form, right? Taysom was like just good enough to where he could throw and burn you. And if you don't have that weapon, if you don't have that threat, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a coach that's supposed to be an offensive guru, and you can't, like, he should be maximizing opportunities or putting people in positions to succeed. And it's like, I get it. Maybe you think Taysom can't throw it all that well. Well, then just design at least a couple of plays where he doesn't have to heave-ho it. He just throws a screen or something, a screen, a swing pass, a really quick slant, something, anything. Like, we're 1-8. We should be throwing shit against the wall, seeing what sticks, and seeing if we can make a couple of things happen. Like, seriously, these episodes that we do would be so much better if you let off saying, well, the Saints lost to the Bucs 35-17. But I tell you what, there were some pretty good flashes that Shuck did, and then Hill came in and did this, and we were able to just pick our favorite man. What was your favorite flashy play?
Well, it would be. That's a great point. It would be more fun if the Saints lost to Carolina, and we did the post game show when we did the big show. And Dave, we were arguing over, the Saints were winning 13-7. Did Kellen Moore really need to do that trick play bullshit? And it kind of backfired. Like the Buffalo game. Like, they ran the play with Chris Olave, and you were like, it was cool, but Kellen, did you really need to do that there? Like, I just feel like the Saints are really, they're not just struggling, Dave. They don't run anything fun in these games. And they never look, Kellen Moore never looks like, oh yeah, he's in his bag and he had a plan today. Like, I've never once felt the Saints were the better coach team in any of these games.
Well, I mean, I may agree with you on that last point. They've done some creative stuff. I keep going back to the downfield lateral. And that's one play.
I'm
not
cool.
sure that's
more of that.
I'm not
Give
sure
us more.
Yeah, right. I know that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, are we? That's kind of like flashy, showy stuff. And are we really into that mode yet, or are we still in the evaluation phase here? Like, do we really need to be running silly, gimmicky shit when we just need to be running regular old football plays to see what our players are going to do? I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here because, yes,
I need the Saints to get to a fourth quarter, and I'm still interested in the football game.
Well, I know.
That's what I need.
I know.
That's what I need.
I know, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if gimmicky plays alone is what's going to get them there.
Thomas, what's next?
All right, that was a long one. Next question from Toxic P. Toxic Positivity. He asks, which is the worst legacy play? The Rattler tipped / fat guy pick 6, or the Danny Werfel twisted helmet play?
Ooh, it's a great one.
I got to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with the Danny Werfel twisted helmet play.
Google it. It's amazing.
All right,
Kevin,
I'll do that.
Great question. It's a great question.
Yeah. You want to go ahead?
I mean, the Danny Werfel twisted helmet play is iconic, and it was done by a former Saint, Andre Royal. He signed with the Saints, but he never actually played it down because he went to a strip club, got arrested, and they cut him. But
I just saw the play.
I mean, it's iconic. I would say the Danny Werfel twisted helmet play.
Yeah,
It's an all timer.
it is.
It's an
That's the
all-timer.
winner. That's the winner.
The Spencer Rattler play is going to be known by Saints fan as his last moment, probably, unless Tyler Shuck is injured. But like, you can show non-Saints fans the Danny Werfel play, and they're like, oh, poor Danny Werfel.
I mean,
so
that's almost it's almost butt fumble-esque.
It is like,
well, also apparently, by the way, against Carolina.
Yes,
so
against Carolina
this week.
It is. It is a great question.
Real good question, Toxic P.
So wait, so I'm looking at it now. What happens? His that was the last play of his career?
No, that wasn't the last player of Werfel's career, but it was just iconic. I have a question for you guys. Minnesota won this past week, and McCarthy looked good, so that's out. But if a team, the Rams or another team called, maybe they get a quarterback injury, and they call you tomorrow. They call Mickey Loomis, and they say, "Hey,
my name Kyler Murray."
No, and they say, "Hey, Mickey, I'll give you a 4th for Spencer Rattler." Would you do it, Kevin?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dave,
would you do it?
Yep.
I would too, because especially since Kellen Moore is like committed to, he's like Tyler Shuck's the guy the rest of the way. So like Spencer Rattler's done here. So if you can turn a 5th round pick quarterback into a 4th round pick, I think you got to do it. It would really scare me though if it was Sean McVay, if it was a really good offensive coach. It would really scare me that they're like, they want Rattler, but I'd still do it. Thomas, what's next?
All right, final question from Blake Zick, and you're going to like this one, guys. He asks a hypothetical question. Who would be in better shape for roster building next year? Saints or a new expansion team?
I mean, I guess it would depend on how they do the expansion franchise. Do they do it like hockey, where take different players from different teams?
Well, what they would do is when they did it before, they said every NFL team can protect. I think at the time it was 35 or 38 guys. So probably now it would be you can protect your top 40. Right. And Kevin, I want to say for Carolina and Jacksonville, they gave them the first pick in the top of the round, and they gave them the first pick in the 2nd round back-to-back years. And they didn't do that with the Texans. They were like, oh, wait, that was too much. So if you gave an expansion team, you can pick your players. You can pick players off the top 40 they can protect. And every time if you pick a Saints player, the Saints can take one back off the unprotected list. You could do that, and you can get the first overall pick and the first pick of the 2nd round back-to-back years. Would you rather that or the current Saints, Kevin?
Well, first of all, this would screw the Saints. The Saints currently have the first overall pick. So if you're telling me a new team is coming in and they get our pick, and the Saints get the pick 2nd, first of all, I got a big problem with that, buddy. So that, I don't know, that alone might put the expansion franchise ahead of the Saints, because I don't know, just the NFL is built for parity. So I mean, I could see an expansion team. Obviously the Jaguars have never done well, no, the Texans have done some stuff too. I think,
have they?
They're not, an expansion franchise is also not starting negative 20 million plus in the whole.
Oh, that's
in
right. You
cap
get the
space.
clean cap. Oh, I
Right.
didn't think of that.
Plus, you're not
So
dealing
I
with
mean,
ownership. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, and well, yeah, and Kevin's might be spilling his guts here on his answer, but yeah, plus you don't know who the ownership's going to be, but theoretically you don't have deep rooted ownership politics, that go back years and years or whatever. So I honestly I think take the expansion franchise.
Yeah.
I would also take the expansion franchise because you're not dealing with team management that is seemingly averse to trading down. So if you told me I had the first pick in the first round and the first pick in the second round, I would immediately trade that first overall pick in the first round and try and stockpile more players. Like, I would be looking at, we're going to get more guys on this team in places where I haven't picked up guys in the supplemental draft.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have, like, I don't need to have a franchise guy coming out of the draft. I need to have a team of players that I can sell.
Yeah.
Not one. You can't sell. Don't start a new franchise and say, oh, we've got our franchise quarterback. Don't do that. Don't do that. You get 5 guys at various positions and you say, this is the crew. This is the crew we're all getting behind.
Yeah, and also too, like the Saints' current roster, like how many guys would you like if you went to if you said I'm going expansion roster where I have no idea what I have, how many guys would the Saints have where you're like, I hate the Saints maybe have what 3 or 4 guys that you would be like, man, it sucks that I start from 0 and I don't have Banks and I don't have Fawaga and I don't have McCoy and I don't have. That's about it. Like who else on the Saints roster would you be like, man, not having him? That's a good building block. No. The other thing you could do, Kevin, if you did an expansion draft, which I think Jacksonville and Carolina did, they picked guys in the expansion supplemental draft and then immediately traded them to other teams. And you know what I'm saying? Like the team would say, hey, pick Kevin for me, Jaguars, pick him, and I will give you a 4th round pick. And I want to say Carolina and Jacksonville did that. And then when the Texans came along, the NFL was like, that's another thing expansion teams can't fucking do because Jacksonville and Carolina got good too quick. The NFL, the NHL did that too. Jacksonville and Carolina got to that.
Didn't Jacksonville eliminate the Dolphins in Dan Marino's last season?
They did.
Like right after they joined the league.
Jacksonville and Carolina both went to the championship game in their second year.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
I remember that, and because I remember thinking, boy, wouldn't that be cool if they both made it to the Super Bowl?
And Jacksonville was better. Like Coughlin got Jacksonville. Like Jacksonville didn't make the Super Bowl, but they went to the playoffs. I want to say like 3 or 4 years in a row. They hosted an AFC Championship game. Carolina went to the NFC Championship game and kind of fell back, and they weren't good again until Jake Delhomme came along. But the NFL was like, we gave these expansion teams way too much. We gotta dial this back. So that's a great. I mean,
that's like the Vegas Knights. Like the Vegas Knights went to like the Stanley Cup playoffs in the NHL. I think like in their second year.
The Vegas Knights won a championship in 5 years. Like
yeah, right.
They are crazy well run. And by the way, that Vegas, the Raiders Stadium and the hockey stadium both look incredible. If you ever go to Vegas,
yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, they went to the playoffs their first 4 seasons. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, like they had Mark Brunell. Like they they went like 13-3 or 14-2 in '99 and lost to Tennessee at home.
Yeah.
Those Jacksonville teams were freaking good. So anyway, that's the preview for Saints Carolina in the mailbag. Hopefully the losing streak ended. The Saints are due. They started 0-4, Dave, and then they won, and they've lost 4 in a row. So they're due to win again, I think. So
Yeah, right. That's how odds work.
That's right.
Easy.
If you like this podcast,
Bet your house on the
found
Saints.
us, like, subscribe to us, and go to patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour. Become a patron. Support the show. It's the best money you can spend during Saints season, and it helps us out a lot. And it allows us to keep doing what we're doing. So for Kevin, for Dave, for Thomas running the show back in Poland, the best producer on earth, I'm Ralph Marlboro. I'm drunk. And until next time, the bar is closed.